Hey gang, Tim from Capes and Scowls, and we're a little tired today. It's been a long day. Paul, it's been a long day, right?
Yeah.
This has been a long day, but we're going to get started right now for you and other things. Why am I doing your bit?
I don't know.
We're going to get started right now. Shirts and stuff.
Wait, do I not have to do an opening?
I guess you don't.
What's today?
The 17th, so tomorrow's the 18th.
Okay.
Hey guys, it's Tim again. I didn't do the opening properly, and now Paul's confused if he needs to do an opening, so I'm just going to do it. Today is December 18th, and we're going to get started right now. You know, I never listen to you.
I'm so confused now.
Doesn't matter. I'm doing it.
Going on.
You want to do the trade reviews and really mess with them?
No. I really don't. I need to read.
He needs to read. So, first up, we got Green Lantern, Volume 1. This is Volume 1 of the new Grant Morrison run. We have X-Men, Summers and Winter. This is a bunch of things. But there is some some Christmas specials thrown in. I just imagine this is real. Cyclops fighting with all the different versions of Cyclops. It doesn't have that really hideous costume in there, the one from the 90s or the early 2000s. It was really bad. Outer Darkness, Volume 2. That is still going pretty strong, John Layman. We got Snoopy, A Beagle of Mars. I love this one. We've got Iron Man, Invincible Origins. This doesn't tell me what's in it, so it must be an original thing. Ice Cream Man, Volume 4. This book is so messed up, but like so much fun. If you can do messed up, that's your book. Dead Man Logan, Volume 2. This is the end. This is the end. End of that maxi series, I guess. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed Brisson's work on that. We got Magic the Gathering Chandra. I reviewed issue 1. They did some okay things. It really wasn't for me though. It's hard to make a known property like a card game into tangible lore, I guess, in comic book form. But, whatever. Marvel Action Black Panther, Stormy Weather. This is by Kyle Baker and Juan Samu. We've got Batgirl, Old Enemies. This is Volume 6 of Batgirl. Ooh, she fights King Shark. That's fun. Batman, Volume 11. This is probably your second to last for Tom King. No, there's probably more of these. Hey, a lot of Tom King. You love Tom King. We know you love Tom King. DC knows you love Tom King. And then finally, the guy I call the next Tom King, Donny Cates. This is a Treasury edition of his Silver Surfer Black. This book was really cool. I think this is a must-own, really. And it's just a cool size. I know, it's like, where do I put it? Who cares? This thing's great. Own it.
Hey guys, Paul's from Ashen. Oh no, we did that already. I'm so confused. I didn't do an ending. Well, yeah, I guess we'll just start.
Get in there!
First issue we got is Once and Future, issue number 5. It's really going to be hard to explain this book because I don't really want to spoil what happened in the last one. But a ton of revelations that are spilling out of the big reveal from the last issue, and our main characters are scrambling to create their own new reality of what is happening. And again, like I said, it's so hard to do this because there are so many things that happen in the last issue that really do lead into such big spoiler territories. But this is such a good series. The art is amazing. The writing is spectacular. This is definitely one you should be picking up. If you love King Arthur tales or the idea of how history can be rewritten and things of that sort, this is definitely something you should be checking out, and give this one a try.
All right, everybody. My first review. First, I got to clarify. All 3 of my picks, I did not pick. I gave the greatest Christmas gift of all to a friend of mine, Patrick. I said, you can pick all 3 of my books. So, he went super not big 3 companies. So, we're starting with Ablaze Comics with Gung Ho. Gung Ho Black Sheep, issue 1. This is the story of a world kind of not unlike Walking Dead, where there's some sort of critter out there terrorizing the people. You get to learn about this kind of encampment, this fort that they go to, Fort Apache, where these two kids, they're problem kids, and it's kind of like when you're kids, you obey your parents, but when you become a teenager, sometimes you're just a shitty teenager, because that's real life. And they don't listen, and this is kind of like their last shot, this fort. It's kind of like, hey, get yourself in line, or we're kicking you out, and you will die out on your own, because there's something terrible beyond the walls. I really like the way they set up the city and the structure of their society. You don't get to see the big bad in this issue, and I actually really enjoyed that. I liked the setup. I liked the pacing. I liked learning about this world and some of the cool tasks that people have in this. It was a lot of fun. I'm curious to see where it goes. It could be really good. It could be really bad, but right now I'm in. And the art was fun. The art kind of is like this digitally painted style, and it doesn't have a ton of hard black lines. It's kind of just, it's an interesting style. So check it out.
Next up, we have Wonder Woman Dead Earth issue number 1. This is kind of an interesting one. It's a Black Label title. The concept is Wonder Woman was put into some type of cryo chamber. She doesn't know why. She doesn't know where her bracelets are or anything like that. But the world ended through nuclear war, and this takes some time into the distant future, where humanity is trying to rebuild itself, and people stumble into old Gotham City, or the ruins of what used to be Gotham City from, again, we don't know how long ago, but I would have to guess at least 100 years, because it feels like none of the people in here understand who Diana is or who Wonder Woman is, because of those, the retelling and losing everything. But Diana wakes up in this new world and has to fight her way out without nearly all the powers that she normally has. And it's an interesting book. The art is not necessarily something for me, but for this type of story, that gritty kind of realism works for it. And it's definitely an interesting concept. I love Black Label stuff just because I think DC does Elseworld titles and one-shot books better than any other company, because of the whole multiverse concept and everything like that, where they can take a story and then just go crazy with it. And yeah, this is definitely one of those ones you should grab.
Next up, we have from Boom, Folklords, issue 2. Did I read issue 1? No, I did not, Paul. But did I read issue 2 for Pat? I sure did. I'm kind of glad I did. This is from Matt Kint. I love Matt Kint. We actually interviewed him over at Capes and Scowls, if you want to listen to that. I believe he talked about this coming out. And this is a very cool fantasy story. It has a familiar setting that I won't spoil for you. And it's about a kid, a normal human boy, and his elf friend going on a quest, trying to find the Folklords. The Folklords are forbidden. The adults don't talk about it. And they just want to go on a quest and do this classic sword and sorcery kind of thing. The woods are terrifying. There's awful things in them. They feel everybody is out to get them. They encounter a couple people while they're in the woods. And I was pretty happy with where this went. I think Matt Kint's great. He can never write a bad book. It's just, is it your flavor? And if you like sword and sorcery and D&D kind of stuff, you'll probably enjoy this. So check it out.
Next up, we have Harleen, issue number 3. This is the end of this series, but I believe this series has done so well that there's going to be a second arc to this story. I believe focusing on Harley and Poison Ivy. But you finally see the final fall into madness from Harley. The writing and art by Sajak is just so amazing. He does emotion extremely well, both from an artist standpoint and from a writing standpoint. He does emotion very well, and to do this for Harley and really kind of dive into and give you that slow burn of her falling into madness was amazing to read, and this is definitely one you should check out. It wasn't my pick of the week. It probably would have been my pick of the week had something cataclysmic not happened that we need to talk about next.
All right, it's time for my pick of the week. You ready, Paul? I don't think this has happened on our show yet. My pick of the week is a Scout comic.
Never heard of Scout Comics.
Scout Comics is actually pretty good. But Scout Comics, Eskimo Kisses, #1, this is a one-shot. The whole thing wraps up by the end. This is the story of a cop and his wife, his pregnant wife, out in Alaska. It talks about the history of Eskimos, and it has to do with infected kind of werewolf kind of creatures attacking a village and their struggle to survive. I don't want to spoil too much more than that. It kind of feels like a 30 Days of Night meets a 28 Days Later kind of vibe. It is gruesome at times, and the color palette of the book is super good, because I know this cover's a really cool painted cover, but most of it is just your whites, your blues, and your blacks, and that's it outside of blood. And that really makes the horror aspects, the gore that happens inevitably when you're fighting weird wolf people, it makes it that much more shocking and stands out. The art's great. The writing was fun. I'd like to see if they could do anything else in this world. It was fun. So definitely check out Scout Comics if you haven't. They're like Image. They're like Dark Horse. You know, they have these creator-owned things. We have Randy Stone and Christopher Sabella are your writers, with Henry Ponciano as your artist. I enjoyed this a bunch. I can just keep saying I enjoyed it 1,000 times. But if you want something different, this book, $5.99 one shot, you get everything you could possibly need. Check it out. Check it out. Branch out. Don't just read the same crap.
And why was that cataclysmic? It is Batman issue number 85. It's the end of the Tom King run. Wow. Yeah. It's the end of everything, basically. There's a lot of things to this story. If this was the last Batman book, it would have had a satisfying ending to it. Like, it has that kind of finality to it that it feels like, unlike any other writer that I've seen leaving a book. If Batman ended literally after this issue, I think it would give you a quality ending to it. But it is the ending to the City of Bane. We get to find out everything that's happening. Like, there are no real loose ends. We get to find out everybody that we've been dealing with for the last 85 plus issues of what happens, where these loose ends get tied into, all the hope that has basically been kind of pushed through all of these issues. And this one's no different, man. It was a great read. It was a great roller coaster. A couple of the issues throughout the series might have felt a little out of place, but seeing where this went for this issue, I mean, I can definitely see why he did the choices he did, and this is definitely going to be one to pick up. You should be definitely checking it out, and I'm curious to see where this is going to go next. Tennyson's got a lot of he's got some big shoes to fill, but definitely grab this. Hey guys, it's the end. And normally Tim does the end, and I'm just off camera and just tossing my 2 cents in. But it's Christmas time, and since this is technically going to be the last time we talk to you this year, because our next New Year's is going to be Wednesdays of the New Year, so this is the last live video of 2019, and we really want to thank you guys. Christmas is always that fun time to be thankful and for all the gifts that you've been given and all that kind of stuff. And you guys really have given us a gift. I know this is bugging Tim because he doesn't like to get emotional or anything like that, but we really do appreciate everything you guys have done for us, for this channel, for sharing with your friends, subscribing, watching our video on a week-to-week basis. You guys are awesome.
I enjoy you as well. You guys are the best.
Really? That's it?
No, I enjoy Christmas. I had fun. We did it another year. How many years has this been?
This is our third. We're going on our 4th year doing these.
Oh man,
I know.
So much.
I know.
That's too much.
Did you think you'd be doing anything for 4 years?
Well, I mean, I've been doing my podcast almost 10.
Okay, anything else other than your podcast?
No.
And your wife?
I've been doing my wife for a while. I thought you were going to keep this PG.
I mean, it was more. I was talking more about your marriage, not.
Well, I mean less often because I'm married. What are you trying? This is a Christmas episode.
I know, but you took it in such a weird direction.
You did it.
I did not.
I didn't word it right.
Maybe I worded it incorrectly, but like
see, it's what you say.
The intent,
important.
But the intent was
but
different.
how you say things is very important, Paul.
I understand that, but intent matters
Were you
too.
saying that earlier?
It was.
I think I'm done messing with you.
I think you guys
have a Merry Christmas and drink and eat cookies and watch She-Ra He-Man Christmas special. That's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah, and then next week, tune in for a Future Paul Chronicles.
Future Paul, hi.
More of that. Like, just so much of that. He has done so much. I don't
many more.
I don't know.
How long?
That's going to be easily a 15-minute video.
Oh, man. You guys going to watch a 15-minute video?
I mean, you will. Just
nonsense?
Yes, you should.
Well, thank you.
But we'll see you guys next time.
Future Paul.